What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video where a almost 30-year-old man talks to you about a blue anthropomorphic forest creature and how much he likes, loves, or despises said creature. Today, I'm going to be diving into all the designs of Sonic. Love them, hate them, and everything in between. And you know, I've done this in the past where, especially that first Junio Sonic tutorial, that's his name now, by the way, I kind of went over the designs and what I liked and didn't like about them, but I was kind of rambly and sporadic, and I'd rather be rambly and sporadic in a way that makes sense. So today we're going to be taking a look at a tier list for Sonic designs. It should be interesting. Let's jump right into it. I like this list, actually. I had a couple criteria for the designs and what I wanted from them. I see a lot of tier lists have basically different images of the same Sonic, and they think that that means it's a different design. Listen. If the same person is drawing it, I'm just going to lump that in as the same design, okay? And if it's from the same franchise or the same series or the same model, or if the differences are negligible, like for example, I think modern Sonic has stayed pretty consistent since Unleashed, or I guess Sonic and the Secret Rings, I'm not gonna nitpick over that. Like, oh, well the poly count is a little bit higher or lower, so it's different. No, it's virtually the same design. I want to get into the actual aesthetic of something, the shape language, stuff like that. So this tier list I like because these are all pretty different Sonics. Both my knowledge and ignorance of the franchise are going to come into full effect right now. So, should be exciting. So let's jump right into it. First we have Sonic from Sonic Riders. You know, I really liked these games growing up. They were a ton of fun. I only played the first one. Heard Zero Gravity wasn't that great, but I don't know. I'm going to put this design in category C. Now, here's why. And this will get into some things that you may or may not like about my opinion. This is basically just modern Sonic with a different shoe and sunglasses on a board. In fact, it's probably closest to Uekawa. So, I don't know. Although I like the game, the design itself is modern and basically Uekawa style. And I know some people really love Uekawa, and you know what? Look, I have a special place in my heart for that man and his work because I do like adventure a lot. They were really fun games, and the countless hours I spent in Chao Gardens alone makes me love his work. But in terms of actual design, basically I'm coming at this from the angle of, do I want to see this in a mainline Sonic game going forward? Is this the right direction I think the franchise should take? And would I be okay if it went this direction? And I'm also coming at it from just a design perspective. Like, is this an attractive design to look at? Is it pleasing? I love the rendering style of Sonic Riders. I love how it's a little bit sketchier, and you know, it's got tons of energy in the actual artwork. But in terms of just design aesthetic, right, from circle to circle, how the spikes are drawn, I'm gonna put this in a C. Okay, now, same Sonic, virtually a little bit different. And I'll put all these images up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I believe this is Advanced Sonic or Sonic Shuffle or something. Not entirely sure, actually. I like the shoes in this one, actually. I think this is a good modern Sonic. I'm going to put this in a B. I actually like the shoes a lot because they're not totally pointy, but they're not totally round and blunt either. So his face is very much Uekawa's style. So I'm just going to throw that in a B. I think that's a pretty solid design. Obviously, I really like the rendering style of Adventure. I've never actually done it myself. Coming soon, maybe. Probably not. Just in terms of actual design, yeah, I think it's good. Okay, this. I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about what if I sat right across from the people who drew Sonic Underground? Would I be super insulting to them? Would I tell them that the work that they did was terrible? When I would just look at them and be like, how did you get this from all the reference stuff? How does he have an ellipse for a nose? Dude, his eyes and his nose are the same. So freaking ugly. On top of it, and I don't know if this is actually a total mohawk design, but if it is a mohawk design, it's just insult to injury. This is seriously an F in the chat for that. Can I get an F in the chat? The chat, I think, sucks. I hate this design. Okay, so Sonic Boom. Let's talk about this design. I kind of threw it. I do hate it. I think it's so ugly. And I know some people, here's the thing, is like when I start talking about the design, people are automatically going to start associating Sonic Boom with the TV show, which is well received. So try and separate what you enjoy about the TV show and the writing there and the voice acting and all of that. Try and separate the Sonic Boom TV show from his design for just a second and just isolate it by itself. The guy has literally wrist straps on and a scarf. And they made him taller for no reason. You know, a lot of people argue, well, Sonic needed to be taller for the 3D, you know, for a 3D translation because of rigging and all this stuff, and it was just easier to see him. I know that was actually something I believe Sega themselves said was like the original Sonic model we had in Adventure, his head was just too large, so we had to make him a little bit taller and make his head smaller. Hey, so it was both artistic and technical working together to fix that, and it worked. There's no reason to make Sonic lankier here, except you just don't understand the franchise. I think Sonic Boom is the ugliest Sonic design, by far. But I might change my mind a little bit. Let's keep going. Classic Sonic, solid A. Whoa, 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 bro. Whoa, you gave the OG Sonic an A? Yeah, because I think Naoto Oshima's design is fantastic. I mean, it's timeless. His head is huge. And subsequent Sonic designs that made his head a little bit smaller worked a lot better. Like, even the next game's art, Sonic's head was smaller. His limbs are incredibly short. Look at his tiny hands. Look at that, dude. He's got, you know whose hands. He's just got really small hands, and then he's got pointy shoes. I don't know how to feel about the shoes. I know that's like how the sprites have always looked. I just think something closer to more realistic sneakers looks better for the character overall. But at the same time, the pointy shoes really complement the points on the top of his head. If you think about this in a design perspective, he's got spikes on the top offset by spikes on the bottom. So it's this kind of like balance going on. I think for me, it's just the proportions I really don't like. I love the design at face value. I don't like the proportions. I think that's my biggest problem. Small hands and a big head. And he looks a little bit too odd. In fact, the head is way bigger than I think they are in the sprites, but I might be wrong about that. Just at a glance, love the design. I don't really like the proportions. OVA Sonic, I do like the Sonic a lot. I love seeing Sonic come to life. I love seeing him in a grounded environment. You know, the OVA really is just this wonderful thing we have. I regularly go back to it, one, because the backgrounds and art are so pretty, and I reference them all the time for freedom. Sonic has so much heart and character, and so do Tails and Knuckles. It's a wonderful thing. My biggest problem with the OVA, couple things. So it's almost the inverse problem with Naoto Oshima's design, which I put in A, right? It's kind of the inverse problem. Sonic is now taller with larger limbs and shorter spikes. I don't know why this choice was made. I don't know why the choice to make him super tall was made. The shorter haircut, pretty cool. I do like that. I like the way he just looks animated. He just looks energetic in the OVA, and I really like that. And I really like, you know, the voice work Martin Burke did as well. So it's not a conflicted opinion, but I think he's definitely a top-tier classic design because they emphasized the right things. I just question a couple design choices. Joints that they gave him, like they gave him elbows and knees. There's no reason to do that in an animated setting, in my opinion, because the biggest reason he would need to do that is for rigging, right? Like if he had actual bones, like in a 3D model, you would want to have joints there, and that would be fine. But in an animated setting, you can make him rubber hose. He should be kind of noodly, and he's not, so I know, kind of nitpicky. So he's a little too tall. I don't really like the joints, and I'm okay with his haircut. We'll just call it a haircut. I like that. People love this particular Sonic. I've seen people say how much they love this art because it's kind of like underground and not very well known. I don't really like it, and it's hard for me to judge a whole design based off of one image. So take that with a grain of salt that I'm coming at this with the perspective of like, when I see a design, it's like, have I seen it in motion? Is there multiple angles? Like, how does this thing actually work and function as a whole design from all perspectives? Which is why the animated designs are so much easier to judge, in my opinion, because you get to see how well they work in motion, and same with the 3D models. But some of this 2D artwork, a little bit hard to judge. I really don't like it. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I think Sonic looks like he's melting. He doesn't seem solid. His hands are ginormous, like huge. I'm personally not a fan of it. If you are, cool, bro. Moving on. Okay, when people ask me what my favorite movie is, I say the Sonic movie. No, I don't. I say Fight Club. I love Fight Club. It's a given. In fact, it's such a given that I don't even include it in my top 3. When I say my favorite movies of all time, I don't even include Fight Club. That's how much I love it. Because it's just like, it's a given. It's like, oh yeah, that's a throwaway. That's like, it's always gonna be number 1. Okay, so what's the next number 1? Not what's your real number 1, what's the next number 1? That's how I feel about Toy Sonic. Tripplejaz's Over Party. That's how I feel about Junio Sonic. Junio Sonic for me is in a league of his own. So I've made his own category for him. Junio Sonic is in a league of his own, in my opinion. I love this design. In fact, I love it so much, I made a whole video about why I love it, because I know some people wonder, like, why the heck do you like this design so much? Is it just nostalgia? And I agreed, and I conceded, yes, it is part nostalgia. It's also part fantastic to look at. I love looking at this design. Every freaking frame is so amazing. I love it. It's really hard to find a goofy frame in the Junio anims. Like, it really is. They're all, every frame, even the in-betweens, are just incredible to look at. If you want a further description of why I think Junio Sonic is my all-time favorite design, and I think he stands a league above his own, you can check out my video on it. But in short, it's incredibly dynamic. I love the way that his eyes... Right, something like that. Love how dynamic his eyes get. I love the way his spikes are drawn from the front. They're not like just like pile of dung sitting on the top of his head. Even though that would be correct for 3D, it looks so much cooler to draw them like they just can't be contained behind his head. Like they're just like a Super Saiyan. It's freaking dope. Love that design. Okay, movie Sonic. I'm conflicted. I haven't actually seen the movie yet. I have pretty strong opinions about the movie, just based on the trailers, which I know a lot of people love it, and if you didn't like the first design, then you need to go support the movie because otherwise you... That wasn't my position. My position from the beginning was, it's not even animated, so we're already off to a wrong start here. It's not animated. It should have been all entirely 3D. I mean, just imagine a Sonic movie in the style of Spider-Verse. Just picture that. Any design of Sonic except Underground or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, any other design, it's what I wanted. I want a fully animated Sonic. I want Studio Trigger. I want Madhouse. I want some of these top tier anime people. You know what? I'll even take Toei Studios. Okay? They did the Broly movie. That looked great. I didn't see it, but the trailers looked fantastic. I heard it was great. Let's do that. Hey, let's do that. I don't know why we had to go with the Scooby-Doo Smurfs direction. I don't know why we did that, but we did. Okay, so I'm going to judge it based on what we got. I'm looking at the previous movie design. We'll get to that. You know what? Let's just get to it right now. Let's just get this over with. Okay. You've seen the memes. You saw the reaction. This is a kill on sight, burn it with fire design. And it was when we first saw it. And I know I have some friends who liked it initially. Well, they gave it the benefit of the doubt, I will say that. I didn't. I wanted this thing dead. If this rodent was real, I would beat it. I would bludgeon it. Seen as a threat to my family, to my health, and my well-being. And I would kill it. Rodents of unusual size, as we all know, deserve to get burned alive. Thrown in quicksand. Okay, I hate this design. Everything about it is... If you're running to the chat right now to tell me what... I love it. I love it so much. No. Save your breath. Save your oxygen. I don't even care about you. Nothing you say is going to change my opinion on how masterfully ugly this design is. Now let's take a look at what we got. Again, I haven't seen the movie, so... I've seen the trailers though, so I know what it looks like in motion. I mean, this is a glow up. By comparison. For sure, this is a glow up. It's not classic looking at all. In fact, it barely looks like modern Sonic. But I won't lie, dude. It's got like an edge to it and a cuteness, which I think Sonic has always kind of had. And I don't want to see the Sonic going forward. Like, I don't want it in mainstream games. I don't want it to be a staple design. Of course, they're going to use it in the next movie, which is fine. If it remains the movie design, I'm cool with it. Let me put it to you this way. Movie design, mainline Sonic design. I don't want him looking this way. Movie design, mainline Sonic. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep it here for now because it is the movie design. I think it's cute and also cool looking. And by comparison, you know, maybe I would have given this like a D if I didn't know what we could have had. This glorious disaster. A B, but I might be feeling a C. Okay. Greg Martin's. This looks like this. I know this is US box art Sonic. I don't know who the exact artist is. I'm gonna judge this as Greg Martin's Sonic. I don't like it. Don't like it. The mohawk, the floppy ears. His ears like sag. They gave him a butt brow for some reason. And his eyes look like they're like buttons. Like you could almost like pluck them out of his eye socket and it would be like a tick. I don't know, dude. Kind of an ugly design. I mean, the art is pretty. I do like the rendering style. It's pretty cool to see Sonic in this kind of like super 90s airbrushed, chromatic, like metallic looking. His proportions are pretty close to Naoto Oshima's design, but it's just been like Americanified and Westernogrified. You'd say it that way. Let's just take a look at them side by side. The big change that really ruined the design is the eye size. Not my favorite design. I'm giving this a D. And that's not based off of this one box art. That's based off of all of Greg Martin's. It's not kill it with fire, but I don't like it at all. So it gets a D. Modern Sonic, it's a C. At this point, he's so recognizable and identifiable that it'd be really hard to kind of scrub him from being the mainstay design. But realistically, I would rather see one of these become the standard for how Sonic looks. Again, the kind of taller proportions, the butt brow, I don't know why this became such a huge thing. It doesn't belong on Sonic. It belongs on Knuckles, really only. I don't like his elongated body. Looks weird. Yeah, modern Sonic, he's pretty boring to look at, to be honest. He's like, there's nothing exciting about him. It's like, oh, that's Sonic. It's just Sonic. Like, that's how I feel when I look at him. His spikes just kind of like sit there like he's kind of like in a coma. He's like, and his spikes are like boring. It's not the worst possible thing. And by the way, when I mean modern Sonic, I'm talking about basically from Sonic and the Secret Rings on. What we saw in Wreck-It Ralph, what we see in the progressive commercial, what everyone sees when they animate him in 3D, Unleashed, all that stuff. Don't make me talk about that. Don't make me talk about that game. Okay, I won't even lie. I was thinking about putting this in the F category. Okay, an F in the chat for Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I won't even lie. But I won't lie, dude. I actually really like the cartoon. Besides the terrible design. In motion, I really like this Sonic, and I loved the voice acting for him as well. I'm going to give this guy a D. right? That's being generous, because I really don't like this design. I think he's just a step up from Underground in terms of how ugly he is. Like, he's just a little bit better looking. It's like if Underground is a 1 out of 10, then Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is a 1.1 out of 10, right? It's like, he's not a 2, he's just a 1.1. It's just barely less ugly. But the reason I'm putting him in a totally different category is because in motion, I really like his energy and elasticity, and even just in the still, just in the still alone, you can see this Sonic has way more attitude, kind of projecting all of my experience and bias with this character onto all of my opinions. So like at face value, I think it's virtually the same as Underground and Greg Martin's. So I'm giving him a D. That's generous, okay, guys. That's, you're not getting better from me, okay? This is never going up a tier. Yep.
Yes, you love classic Sonic, right? All classic Sonic. You're a classic Sonic stan.
Let me tell you why this particular classic Sonic gets an F in the chat for me. This design misses the mark so freaking hard. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, Butt Brow is back for no apparent reason. He's angry for no apparent reason. The energy in his spikes, like that sense of dynamism that every other piece of 2D Sonic art basically has, gone. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not interested in pandering or nostalgia when it comes to mainline Sonic games. I want it done right. And if it's not done right, then I don't care about it. I didn't care that Generations had 2D Sonic in it because it didn't play well. It didn't play like classic Sonic. Same reason I don't like Sonic 4. Trash. Doesn't play anything like the classics. It's terrible. So I don't want to be pandered to. I want you to actually care about the franchise like I do and deliver that. I don't feel like this classic Sonic from Generations and Forces reveals the work of people who care about the franchise. This seems more like, hey, we have model sheets from the 90s and we can just throw it in Maya and model on top of it. That's what it feels like. Tyson has Sonic S and do really like this Sonic. It's so clear where his inspirations were from. They were from Junio. And he's shameless about it and I love it. Really enjoyable to watch in motion. It's got so much heart, so much energy, so much personality. Great design. I'm glad it's here. I don't think it's better than Junio, but I think it's great. Okay, Sonic X. Sonic X is a C. I think Sonic X is basically modern Sonic with a bit of a cel-shaded paint job. I don't think there's that much difference, really. I feel the same way basically about this Sonic because it's pretty similar to this Sonic right here, right? They're both Iwakawa's art, as far as I know. Might be wrong about that. Just for consistency's sake, I'm going to put this in C. But I like that particular picture. Maybe that's why. I think his spikes and spines look really cool. Okay, this... What is this from? Sadan? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I feel the same way about it. Again, the only reason that this made it past F tier is because it just looked cool in motion and I liked the cartoon. Reality, I think these three are all the same level of not good. Particularly Underground. My gosh, it's so ugly to look at. Okay, the reason I don't like Sadan, again, mohawk, proportions, small hands, feet. I mean, and the way that his whole face is drawn, all of them, they don't get it. It's like this. If you were to just look at it as a shape, like this, he like squashed his head instead of being round. Comic designs of Sonic are probably a video on their own, so I don't even know why this is here, because this isn't even technically a game. I'm going to leave that out. I don't think that's a game. That's IDW. You know, it would be interesting and fun to cover the comic designs in another video, because there's some that I really like. I really do. And some I really don't. Okay, Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic. This is technically just the artwork for Sonic Adventure. It's not his design in-game, because in-game he has soap shoes. Are we including soap shoes or not? Because if we are, If we're including the in-game model, I think the in-game model I really like. I really like the models in Adventure 2. I think they just look a lot better than Adventure 1. They fit a little bit more that adult, edgier look that they were going for. A little overboard, but, you know, it works. But without Soap Shoes, if we're just looking at this artwork, I think this is a C. I don't really like the artwork that much for Adventure 2. I actually prefer the artwork for Adventure 1. The last design that's not here, anyone guess it? Anyone? Sonic Jam. I actually really like this design a lot. And it's kind of making a resurgence. I think a lot of people are looking at this and being like, wow, this is a really cool Sonic, and I would agree. I love the design of this Sonic. I would put Sonic Jam in S tier. I think he's that good. I think Sonic Jam is really good. It's the right direction modern Sonic should have gone. He has a proper amount of dynamism, edge, and the proportions are right. Still time, Sega. Okay, and with that, I think that concludes this video. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. I'm sure there's plenty of disagreements. Be nice about it. Unless you don't think I was. Guys, that was nice. I put Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in D. I mean, tell me I'm not a generous person. Don't ever tell me I didn't do anything. Put Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in. If you disagree with me, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation about what you do and don't like about the designs. If you didn't think I went deep enough, maybe I'll do a follow-up video. Anyways, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. How to draw Amy.